Okay, welcome to part 4 on section 1.6. And all we're doing is we're continuing on with graphs, and so there's just going to be more types of things you'll see here in the next 4 problems or so. And so this one, what I want to do with this one, if you remember back in 1.5, sometimes we have to factor what's in here. That way we have the x by itself, and then we have a b factor in front of it, and then we have a correct h factor here that's easier to work with. And so I'm going to say, well, this is equal to, and if I factor out a 2, then what's left is x minus what? Well, that's going to be x minus 2, because divide that by 2, you get that. And then we have the absolute value, and then minus 3. So now we kind of have to, again, figure out what we want to do first after this. So next I'm going to say, well, here is going to be my first thing I'm going to do. That's going to be horizontal compression. Okay. And remember, our b is 2, and so this is going to be by 1 over b, so it's going to be by 1 over 2. Okay, so we're going to have to multiply by that half. Then after that, what are we going to do? Well, then we have this, and so that's going to be second, and that's going to be our h, and it's positive, so that means we're going to move right, shift right 2 units. And then finally third, we have a k as -3, so we're going to shift down 3 units. Okay. And so those are all going to be the things I have to do. And again, I need to start with my original absolute value to kind of make all the pieces go together if I don't want to just maybe make a table and then after that plot points. All right, so first we're going to horizontally compress by 1/2. So what does that do? Okay, so let's say we maybe use that. And so what we're going to do is each x, we're going to take it times 1/2. And so things that are easier to do, I might do, I could do the 1, and then half of that would be the first point. But, sometimes it's hard to figure out where the exact half is. 2, half of that is the 1. And then I could go, well, let's go out to 4. So there's 2, 4. Half of that is 2. And then I could do the same thing here. Well, this one shifts into here. This one shifts into here, and that one shifts into here. And so that is going to be my compression. Okay. Now, second, I'm going to shift everything right by 2 units. All right, well, that's pretty easy to do. So I don't know, let's do orange. So we're going to 2 units right. So 1, 2, so we have that one. And then we know that if we do this half, 1 is going to be in the middle, 2 is going to be in the middle here. And this one, we're going to have 1 in the middle here and another one right here. And so then we'll have 1, 2. And this one's going to be 1, 2. And so now we've got the shift to the right. And if I could draw some straight lines, which I can't do. Because it's supposed to go through that point there. And then it kind of goes up this way, like that. All right, so then the last one is we're going to shift down 3 units. All right, so down 3 units, let's make it blue. And so we start at our vertex and we go down 1, 2, 3. And then we take this one down 1, 2, 3. And this one down, yeah, that one 1, 2, 3. And then the same thing on this side. So it's going to come down here. And that one's going to come down here. And so then looks something like this. All right, and so that's going to be our final one, where f of x equals absolute value of 2x minus 4 minus 3. And I forgot to write all the others on there, but they're going to be written on right now. So the red is going to be the compression, so that's going to be f of x equals absolute value of 2x. And then we had the purple was the original f of x equals absolute value of x. And then the orange was f of x equals absolute value of 2 times x minus 2. And that's parentheses. And that's absolute value there. Okay. So those are the three pieces, and we just moved our way across our piece of our function here, just first, second, third. All right, what about this one? Okay, well, let's go ahead and start and get our absolute value in here. And so that's our f of x equals absolute value of x. Okay, so that's what we have first. Now on this one, we have some options to do. First, we have this, there's my thing. We have to do this, so that's going to be a vertical compression by 1/2, because that's going to be our A, and so we just multiply our output by 1/2. That's first. And then second, that's going to be, remember, that's x minus h, so that's going to be a minus 2, and so it's going to be shift left 2 units. And then our final one is going to be vertical shift down, so it's going to be a shift down 3 units. Okay. So let's go to blue. And so we have a vertical compression by 1/2. So what does that mean? So if we had initially a 1, it's going to go down to a 1/2. If we initially had a 2, it's going to go down to a 1. If we say there's a 3, 4, so there's a 4, we're going to go down to 2. And same thing over here. So the 1 goes down to a 1/2, 2 goes down to 1, 4 goes down to 2, and now we can draw our compression. And it's compressing it, remember, it compresses it down towards the x-axis. And so that's going to be our f of x equals 1/2 times absolute value of x. That's what we've done here so far, just that first piece. Now the second part, we're going to shift left 2 units. All right, so let's go green here. And so shifting left 2 units, we're going to go 1, 2. And so then we go here, 1, 2. Okay, let's go back. So here we're here, 1, 2. Did I miss this one? 1, 2. Oh, that'll just disappear. I mean, that's what it is. And so then over here we go over 1, 2. So that's at this point. And this one goes 1, 2. And then we have 1, 2. And so now we have something like that. And that's going to be, what did I say, 2? It's 4. Haha. That's a 4 units. But we did it 2. So you know what we're going to do? We're changing the problem in the middle. So this is actually going to be 2 we did, okay? Not a 4, because I wrote the 2 here and I just was going by what I said to do here. So it's a 4, but I did the wrong problem here. I wrote the wrong number. So that's okay. We can still do the problem. It doesn't matter. And then the last thing is we're going to shift down 3 units, and that's what I have, and that's what it shows, so that looks good. And so let's go ahead and do that one in maybe red. And so we go down 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we have this one, we go down 1, 2, 3. And now it's on the same side over here. Just go down 3. And then this one comes down 1, 2, 3. And this one comes down 1, 2, 3. And so we have something like that. And so that's our f of x equals 1/2 absolute value of x, and then we're going to do plus 2, and then absolute value, and then minus 3. Okay, so we have the plus 2 instead. So we have the wrong thing there, and we didn't write that in green either, so we should probably write that. And so this is wrong color, green. Whoa. And so this one we're doing f of x equals 1/2 times absolute value of x plus 2. Okay. So change the problem a little bit, but that's okay. We still were able to graph it here. All right. How about the next one? Okay. Well, here we have this 3 out in front, and so that means we're going to have a vertical stretch. That's going to be our A. So we're going to do that first. It's a vertical stretch. So it's going to push it up, and so it's going to actually make it skinnier, and it's by a factor of 3. Now this one is going to be second, and here remember it's x minus h, so that's going to be a shift right by, now this is 2 here. And then we have the final one, third, we're going to shift up 3 units. Okay. So again, let's start with our base toolkit function. Okay, and then we're going to vertically stretch by 3. All right, so let's go to red. So 0, guess what? It doesn't change. Now this one is going to go times 3, so it's going to go up 1, 2, 3. Because it has started at 1 and now it's going to be at 3. This one was at 2, so it's going to be at 6. So it's going to be 2, 4, 6. And so this is going to be 1, and it's going to be a 3. And this was at 2, so it's going to be at 6. And so now let's kind of draw that and see if we can get anywhere close to hitting lines. And if I believe that, that's probably at a 3, so it should be a 9, and that's at 9. So we did pretty close to hitting where it was supposed to. And now we're going to shift everything right by 2. All right, so let's move right. Oh, I already did green. Let's do blue. Now we're going to move right 2. So we go 1, 2. And so now here we have this one. It goes through and goes 1, 2. And this one goes 1, 2. This one goes 1, 2. Now this one here, we're at 1, 2, so it goes here. This one goes 1, 2, so it goes here. And this one goes 1, 2, so it's there. And let's try to get these through. Well, that one didn't quite go. All right. And now our last one is we're going to shift up by 3. Okay. So now we move everything up 3. So we go up 1, 2, 3. This one goes up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so this one goes 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the rest of them are off the graph. And so we're just going to leave it like that. Now again, if you notice, this is all hand drawing and stuff. So on exams and things like that, I won't be able to say, here, draw your graph. What I'll do is I'll say, okay, here's your initial function, and I want you to do this transformation on it, and this is the point I'm going to start with, maybe. And you have to figure out how to get there from there. All right. So this is going to be our f of x equals 3 times absolute value of x minus 2 plus 3, and I've forgotten to write them all down again, so let's go back and write those. This one we shifted right to, so that's f of x equals 3 times x minus 2. And then we had the red one. Okay, so let's get the red. And that was just f of x equals 3 times absolute value of x. Okay, and so that's how we would get all those through and get our graphs done. So let's do one last one here, and it's again where we have to factor. And so first, let's go ahead and draw up our nice y equals absolute value of x, or as nice as we can anyway. And so let's try to remember to put these this time. So now this one, we can't really do anything here with that. Let's put it into the form where we have absolute value of 3 times x plus 3, absolute value plus 2. So then we have our b term, we have our h term, and we have our k term, okay? And that just makes things a lot easier, I think, to actually do the graphing or do any transformations. So first, we're going to have our B is going to be 3, and so we're going to do horizontal compression by 1 over B, which is going to be by 1 over 3. So we're going to multiply all our x's by 1/3, and so it's going to compress it kind of into the center here. Here we have x minus h, so that's going to be a minus 3, so this is going to be second, and it's going to be a shift left 3. And then finally we have a positive k, so it's going to be a shift up 2. Okay, so I have all the right numbers, 3, 1 over b, left 3, and up 2. Okay, so now let's change our color. Let's do, I don't know, let's do a black this time maybe. So first we're going to compress by 1/3. And so when we do that, we're moving everything in by 3. So, you know, factors of 3, 1, 2, 3. So that goes in by 1/3, so it goes to 1. And so this one goes in by 1/3, so it's going to go to 1. And then if we have a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that goes in by 1/3, so that's going to be a 2. And this one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that goes in to 2 as well. Hello. Oh. Well, it doesn't want to stay there. All right, now we got one. All right, so we don't have a lot of points to really do this compression. Now, if we did it by 1/3, you know, we're going to go in here and it's going to be 1/3, and we go in here and it's going to be 1/3 here. So, you know, we have those points, but they're not going to be, they're going to be less precise than I can draw even. So it's going to look something like that, okay? And now we're going to shift left 3. All right, so let's do green now. So shifting left 3, 1, 2, 3. And so then this one's going to be, we're off to that. So it's 1, 2, 3. Now this one goes, it's to the left of that bar. So it's to the left of that. 1, 2, 3. And so this one goes 1, 2, 3. 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 So I think that should be enough points to get me as good as I can draw. So that's f of x equals, now we have absolute value of 3 times x plus 3 absolute value. And the black line should be labeled as f of x equals absolute value of 3x. Okay. Now let's go and do, how about blue? And so that's going to shift everything up 2. So we're going to go up 1, 2. Here we're going to go up 1, 2, 1, 2. And then here we go 1, 2. This will go 1, 2. This will go 1, 2. This will go 1, 2. And so something like that, and that's going to be our f of x equals absolute value of 3x plus 9 plus 2, putting it back into our original notation as that, or if we wanted to keep it with this one where we factored it out so we understood, we did the shift by 3, the compression by 1/3 and then the left by 3, and we can do that as well. But that's how we do it. And again, you start with the original base graph, and then you do all the things in order as you go here, basically from left to right. So that's all I have for section 1.6.